Hey Grand Adventurers, welcome back and welcome to Erie, Pennsylvania, the first stop on our Northeastern Tour 2024. The city of Erie, Pennsylvania was founded in 1795 at the site of an early French fort due to its location on Presque Isle Bay, a natural 5.8 square mile harbor protected by the peninsula of Presque Isle State Park. These waters, sheltered from the open lake, allowed Commander Oliver Hazard Perry to construct America's Lake Erie Naval Fleet during the War of 1812 to gain control of the Great Lakes from the British, and go on to victory at the historic Battle of Lake Erie at Put-in-Bay, Ohio. To this day, Erie remains an important Great Lakes shipping port with direct rail access, thanks to the natural protection of Presque Isle Bay. Erie is allowing us to check one more state off on our camping map, as this is the first time that we've brought our RV to Pennsylvania, part of our Grand Adventure Northeastern Tour 2024. For our week in the Erie area, we're staying at the Lampe Campground in an enviable waterfront location just outside of downtown at the Port of Erie. Here you'll find 42 nicely spaced water and electric campsites immediately adjacent to the Lampe Marina, perfect for those who wish to combine RV camping with fishing on Lake Erie, as there's a free public boat launch at the marina. There's a dump station within the campground, and all sites are back in, with a picnic table and fire ring. Campground facilities also include flush restrooms, showers, and a laundry room. A paved bike path leads to Erie's bayfront attractions and nearby Presque Isle State Park. The campground season runs from May 1st to the end of October. We're paying $40 per night midweek and $45 on the weekend, although rates rise by just a couple of bucks during the peak season of July and August, and actually drop by $10 per night for the month of October. There's no discount for staying a full week as we are, but there's a special 2-week rate available. Construction is currently underway to add a number of additional campsites at Lampe Campground in an attractive location right along the narrow channel that leads from the open lake to Presque Isle Bay. The Erie Harbor North Pierhead Light, also known as the Presque Isle North Pier Light, is one of 3 lighthouses near Erie and is visible from our campground. The light helps ships and boats navigate their way into the narrow channel to Presque Isle Bay. The lighthouse was originally constructed as a wooden tower in 1830, a bit slightly farther west and closer to the present-day United States Coast Guard station. The wooden tower was destroyed in 1857 when a schooner crashed into the lighthouse during a gale. After rebuilding, it was moved each time the pier was repeatedly extended, until it arrived at its current location in 1940. Originally powered by whale oil, the light was finally electrified in 1924 and now flashes a solar-powered red beacon. Its unique, square pyramidal design is the only surviving example of this type left in the United States. The North Pier Light is actually located within Presque Isle State Park, a 3,200-acre Pennsylvania state park founded in 1921 on the arching sandy peninsula that juts into Lake Erie to protect Presque Isle Bay. It has 13 miles of roads, 21 miles of recreational trails, 13 beaches for swimming, and a marina. It is strictly a day-use park, as there are no campgrounds or other overnight accommodations located here. The peninsula is a recurved sand spit formed from a glacial moraine left behind during the last ice age. These deposits of clay, sand, and gravel are constantly being reworked by wave action. The French first named the peninsula in the 1720s. Presque Isle means peninsula in French, or translated literally, almost an island. The Perry Monument at Crystal Point in the park was constructed in 1926 to honor Commander Perry's construction of the Lake Erie Fleet here and the subsequent victory at the Battle of Lake Erie. The monument sits on the shores of Misery Bay and is near Graveyard Pond, where Perry's many men who died from smallpox were buried. The park's interior is home to many ponds, lagoons, and marshes that teem with wildlife and represent one of the most celebrated bird watching areas in Pennsylvania. Presque Isle contains a greater number of the state's endangered, threatened, and rare species than any other area of comparable size in Pennsylvania. These lagoons also present an exceptional opportunity for kayaking. Construction of the Presque Isle Lighthouse, located within the present-day state park, began in September of 1872 and was completed in July of 1873 at a cost of $15,000. It still serves as an active navigation aid today to warn mariners of the presence of the sand spit jutting out into Lake Erie. Originally designed to be built entirely of cut stone blocks, this proved too costly, and so, from the ground up, the lighthouse was built 5 bricks thick. A scow carrying 6,000 bricks was anchored offshore below the lighthouse during its construction. During a storm, it broke free, and all 6,000 bricks were dumped into Lake Erie. People have been finding bricks and pieces of bricks east of Presque Isle, at least as far as 15 miles away. It is thought that some of these were originally intended for the lighthouse. Waldameer Park, located at the base of Presque Isle and just outside of the state park, is the 4th oldest amusement park in Pennsylvania and the 10th oldest in the U.S. Sandwiched between Waldameer Park and Presque Isle State Park, Sarah's and the adjacent Sally's Diner has been a local landmark since 1980. A visit to Presque Isle just wouldn't be complete without an ice cream or a hot dog from Sarah's. Well, I guess we now know what happened to Christine. Sarah's even has its own full hookup RV campground. But we've been very comfortable at Lampy Campground. Our stay has been quiet and peaceful, and our restful sleep has been enhanced by the comfort of our RV's mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. Improve your sleep while camping with a new RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. They offer 4 different mattress constructions in 21 different sizes, depending on preference and price point. Everything from standard queen to all of those funky, odd RV sizes. Brooklyn Bedding manufactures all of its mattresses right at their factory in Arizona. And RVmattress.com ships them right to your door for free, all rolled up and compressed in a vacuum seal. Just cut the wrap to unroll the mattress onto your bed, then cut the vacuum seal. For our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding starts with a layer of high-density foam for a supported base. Just above the base, an 8-inch core of over 1,000 individually encased coils provides the essential support. Immediately above the coils is a 1-inch layer of memory foam and 2-inch layer of hyper-elastic TitanFlex foam. Finally, at the very top is a 1.5-inch layer of antimicrobial CopperFlex foam with TitanCool, which is designed to maintain an ideal sleep body temperature of 88 degrees. Every RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. Visit rvmattress.com/grandadventure to get 25% off your entire purchase with promo code GRANDADVENTURE. We earlier mentioned that there are 3 lighthouses in the Erie area, and here's the 3rd, located just to the south of our campground. The Erie Land Lighthouse was the first commissioned lighthouse along the Great Lakes in the United States. The light is positioned atop a cliff overlooking the entrance to Presque Isle Bay, a location that was strategically chosen to guard what was then a nearly impassable S-shaped channel between sandbars to enter Presque Isle Bay. The original structure was a 20-foot-high square wooden tower with an enclosed lantern room. When the original structure began to collapse, a new 56-foot brick tower was built in 1857. When that one began to fail, the current structure was built in 1867. The lighthouse was decommissioned in 1899, and the light's Fresnel lens and lantern room were taken to Marblehead Lighthouse in Sandusky, Ohio. Erie, on the southern shoreline of Presque Isle Bay, is the fifth most populous city in Pennsylvania and the most populous in northwestern Pennsylvania. Its population numbered nearly 95,000 residents at the 2020 census. Erie was an important shipbuilding, fishing, and railroad hub during the mid-19th century, before its economic focus began to shift towards large-scale manufacturing. The city's economy then began to suffer in the latter part of the 20th century as industrial restructuring took place across the Rust Belt and jobs moved out of the area. Erie's manufacturing sector nevertheless remains prominent in the local economy, with plastics now taking the place of steel and iron, while insurance, healthcare, higher education, technology, service industries, and tourism are emerging as economic drivers. While Erie's downtown core still shows signs of economic variability, the city's true visitor attractions sit at the foot of State Street in the Bayfront District. The Bicentennial Tower on Dobbins Landing at the foot of State Street was built in 1995 to celebrate the city's bicentennial year. It is 187 feet tall and gives a panoramic view of Lake Erie and downtown. One enticing aspect of our Grand Adventure Northeastern Tour 2024 is the time that we'll get to spend with friends and family all summer long. Our dear friends Sue and Jim West have come up from West Virginia to join us for a few nights in Erie, as has our good friend Darren Dawes of the YouTube channel Odyssey Camper from his home in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
We could do well in a company like Anderson.
But again, they didn't want him for sales. They wanted him
I had
to
to get him
manage.
a paper bag so he could
He never did puke.
dry heave.
Because I'm stronger than that.
When we come right back, following a quick ad break to pay the bills, we're going to accompany Sue, Jim, and Darren to the Erie Maritime Museum to learn more about the history of Erie, both the city and the lake. So stay tuned. Our Saturday in Erie is starting out wet and dreary. So instead of kayaking, we're going to take in the Erie Maritime Museum, housed within the former Penelec Front Street station that generated electricity and steam heat for the city from 1917 until the 1980s. The museum commemorates and explains Erie's significance during the War of 1812. It is home to the U.S. brig Niagara, a modern recreation of the 1813 USS Niagara that served as Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry's relief flagship during the Battle of Lake Erie. General admission costs $10 for adults, with various discounts available. The museum offers a wide range of multimedia and interactive exhibits, coupled with interpretive programs that illustrate the region's maritime heritage. Alongside its indoor exhibits, the museum serves as the home port for the U.S. brig Niagara. The boat is currently being rehabilitated and is therefore closed for tours. It will soon be moving into dry dock for over a year to replace rotting wood beneath the waterline.
People and they help me if I find stuff.
That's good. Danbury Island, where we were, right off Gulf Drive. Well,
We hope that you've enjoyed visiting Erie, Pennsylvania with us. If you liked this episode, it's extremely important to us that you give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, you'll find the comments section down there, and that's where we'd love to hear from you after each grand adventure, which we premiere every Wednesday evening. Coming up next week, we're going to be bringing you to the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. So I can't think of a better time than now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure. Finally, we'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. So until next Wednesday from the Finger Lakes, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.